Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Kari and today I am doing a quick but overly ambitious December TBR. And by overly ambitious I mean there's like 20 books on this thing because that's who I am, and despite the fact that my December reading always goes down, I basically just want to see how many of these I can get through. So there are 4 that I actually have to read. There are multiple books that I actually have to read for various projects or groups, and we're going to start with those. So the first one is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. I've seen this book around BookTube a lot, but never really, had an interest, I guess, in picking it up. It sounds cute, and probably would have been one of those, hey, I'll listen to that on audiobook when it comes up. But not something that I would actively reach for myself. However, I have joined a book club that my boss turned me on to, and this is our read for our next meeting on December 12th. I have not started this one yet because it's a middle grade, so it won't take me very long. It does have a very beautiful map though, and I want to be able to remember it so we can actually discuss it. This is a fantasy about a young girl who lives in a village, and this village gives a baby to the local witch every so often. Turns out this girl is the baby who gets given to the witch, and the witch feeds her moon. So we go from there. Again, it sounds really cute and whimsical, just not necessarily the middle grade that I tend to reach for. Next ones are Graceling, Fire, and Bitter Blue by Kristen Kishore, because I am doing the Graceling-a-thon, or Graceling Readathon, whatever, hosted by Sarah the Merry Dreamer, whose channel and Twitter I will link down below. So we're reading Graceling first, and the live show for this will be on December 5th over on Sarah's channel. So I am participating in that, and then I hope to be participating as well in the Bitter Blue live show, because these are my favorite 2 books of the trilogy. Don't get me wrong, Fire I still absolutely love, but it is beat out in the top spot by these 2. I'm still figuring out which one of them I like better. This is a trilogy, and there's a new one coming out in January, and I am beyond excited, and you know I am. This is my second copy of this trilogy. I bought it specifically for this reread because if we're doing a live show I want to be able to annotate it. And I don't want to annotate my original copies. They are the hardcovers, and I have a nostalgic attachment to them untouched. So I'm going to annotate these paperbacks instead. And then obviously when the new covers come out I will be buying those because that's who I am, and this is one of my favorite series. Anyway, it is about a girl named Katsa who has 2 different colored eyes, which means she's graced. To be graced means you have this special ability. It can be killing, swimming, cooking, counting, what have you. Her grace is killing, and her uncle uses her as his strong arm. She decides she's had enough and goes to rescue a prince from another land, and then ends up trying to figure out who kidnapped him in the first place. This one is about Fire, who is a monster, which means she has really vibrant, absolutely gorgeous hair and can get into anybody's head and make them do what she wants, except she's not big on that power, because backstory that you'll find out when you get into the book. And then Bitter Blue follows one of the characters we meet in Graceling, about 10 years later, and she is trying to figure out the kingdom. Again, I absolutely love these books so much, and again, for a live show, gotta read them. Also, would very much like to finish The Feast of Roses by Indu Sundaresan. This is the second in the 20th Wife trilogy, and I love it. It is about Nur Jahan, who is the mother, well, strictly speaking, she's not the mother of Shah Jahan. She's stepmother-ish, but she is definitely the aunt of Mumtaz Mahal, who the Taj Mahal was built for. It's a lot of Mahals. But anyway, fascinating woman, fascinating relationship with Jahangir, her husband, and the emperor, who is actually Shah Jahan's father. There we go. I'm really enjoying it. I am maybe, a quarter of the way through, so I would like to finish this one before the end of the year. If I don't fall into, you'll see this in a video upcoming. Let's see. I want to read The Never Tilting World by Rinch Peko because I've heard amazing things. The second one came out, and of course I own it because I am determined to own everything that Rinch Peko has written. Whoa. Because I absolutely adored Wicked As You Wish, which came out in May. This is about two sisters, goddesses, both, and their people live in two different realms on this planet. One is ice, one is basically fire, or sun and sand. And it sounds really fascinating. I love strong dichotomies in planets like that. I think it's great. I also just adore Rinch Peko's writing, and they're amazing. So I would like to get to this one so I can actually talk and then read the second one. I also realized I have not yet finished the Temporary series by Naomi Novik, and I adore this series and want to know how it ends. Follow the dragon and his person, Lawrence, during the Napoleonic Wars and thereafter. It's very dramatic and it's really amazing. I love it. So I have this book and one other. I also recently discovered Rebel Rose by Emma Thierio, who, well actually I don't know who anything, but this book is a Beauty and the Beast retelling set in 1789, right before the French Revolution in France. Belle has managed to turn Adam into a human again, except that this is right before the French Revolution, or right in the midst of the French Revolution. Not quite the Reign of Terror though, but anyway. And they have to deal with the consequences of being, you know, royal at that time. It sounds fascinating. It is the start of a new series, and also this cover. I also would like to read Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse because this is a pre-Columbian inspired fantasy, and realistically that's all I needed to know. I like the cover, I've heard amazing things, and I'm really feeling some fantasy. I just haven't got there yet. I desperately need to read Tower of Nero, which is the completion of both the Apollo series and anything Percy Jackson, which is bittersweet really. We've been with Percy for 15 years now, and I will sincerely miss him. Even just the little cameos that he's been making in the last couple of books. But I am excited to see how this ends. I've managed to avoid spoilers thus far, and it's been out for, what, 2 months? So we'll see if I can continue doing that. Then I am starting Factfulness on the 30th, which is a couple days later than I told my sister. I'm sorry, but things, namely Christmas presents. So there will be several books. Oh yes, I'm also finishing 2 of my Christmas presents, which requires me reading them, and I will not say their names because my sister watches this and one of them's for her. But anyway, I have 22 days to read this before I see my sister, and if I don't read this before then, she might smack me with a spatula, at the least, which is a reference that's a lot funnier when you know that she bakes. She also has a YouTube channel. It is called Messy Vegan Baker. It is amazing, and she makes vegan baking products. Lately, she has been doing drinks because she's doing 12 days of baking in December for Christmas. She's awesome. Go check her out. I will leave it linked down below. But she recommended this to me, has been recommending it to me for years, and I need to get to it. I also did not get to So You Want to Talk About Race by Ijeoma Oluo. So I'd like to get to this one as well. Pretty short, shouldn't take long, non-fiction about racial tensions and relations, and the shit show that is. I would like to finish the Indu Sundaresan trilogy with the third one, Shadow Princess, which again just continues talking about Nur Jahan. Like I said, this is ridiculously ambitious. Desperately, desperately, desperately want to read The Glass Queen by Gina Showalter. I read The Evil Queen and loved it. It is so good. I also forced my sister to read it and she loved it. This one is about 400 pages. Yep. And it is an Evil Queen from Snow White retelling that just turns everything you know on its head. I loved the first one, which I said already, and I'm really looking forward to this one. And I will be starting Dragon Republic in the next day or two, because I'm hoping to talk about it with my friend Chelsea. After which I would like to read The Burning God, because oh my god, I think they're gonna kill me, but they're so good. R.F. Kuang is brilliantly talented. This is the second and third books, or these are rather, in the Poppy War trilogy. If you haven't heard of that, you've been living under a rock, but let me enlighten you. So Poppy War is a Chinese history inspired fantasy about a girl from the south who manages to get into this amazing and prestigious military academy despite the fact that she is a peasant from the south and shouldn't have possibly been able to test into it, but she did with amazing scores. And she is, I mean, it's a military academy, so they make you a soldier to go and fight and probably die in a war. It is brutal. This is not a lighthearted series in any capacity. This is brutal and bloody and dark as all fuck. I really like those stories. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me, if anything, because it's a whole other thing, my head. But anyway, this is just an amazing, well, I've only read the first book, but it's amazing, and I'm very excited to continue. Then I promised Abby from Autumn of Pelennor, whose channel I will also link down below, that I would read The Naming by Alison Croghan, as well as The King of the Seven Lakes in this month, except I don't know where my Queendom of Seven Lakes duology set is. It could be in this pile that you can't see next to me. It could also be on a shelf behind me. And the problem is, I don't know, and you will see why, again, in an upcoming video, because this pile has a lot to do with it. Everything, actually. But at any rate, so, The Naming, which is what her channel is named after. It is one of her ultimate favorites. She bought it for me for my birthday, this one, and obviously that means I have to read it sooner. And then the same book club is going to read The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead in technically the month of December. So I'll probably start this at the end of December. But this will be the book we talk about at our January meeting. I have been meaning to read this one forever. It is a historical fiction account, or historical fantasy, I'm not really sure, about the Underground Railroad where there is an actual train going under the ground, and it just sounds so good. Of course, we're back to Rinchbeko because I want to read the Bone Witch trilogy. This is the only one I can currently access because, again, pile. That's definitely going to have to be the next video that goes up because otherwise none of you are going to understand why I keep gesturing to a giant pile. I really have no idea what this is about. I'm assuming necromancy of some sort. Oh yeah, there's definitely necromancy. Necromancy makes her a Bone Witch. But I don't really care because, again, I finished Wicked As You Wish and just bought everything I could. Well, I bought this and I bought The Never Tilting Kingdom. I don't know if she's written anything more. I'm gonna find out, and if they have, I'm definitely gonna buy it. So here we are. I also want to read Elizabeth the Later Years by John Guy because I've been really missing my Elizabeth. And the last two books, the first one is The Queens of Animation, which has been on my TBR at least 4 times this year. Women in Disney Animation, and it sounds fantastic, gifted to me by Katie, and I really want to read it. And then the last one is just a duology that I want to finish. A very good duology, mind you. The Court of Lions by Samaya Dowd. Peasant is taken to be the princess's body double, and things escalate from there. It sounds... not sounds. The first one was really cool, and I'm really curious where the second one goes. Man, I can explain all this so much better after Christmas, but here we are. All that in less than 15 minutes. Not bad. So, those are all of, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I want to read The Christmas Carol. Because I said I was going to read this last year, and then didn't. And this is actually a really cool copy. It has original notes and stuff in it. Hopefully this is going to be better than Barchester Towers, because I really didn't enjoy that so much. But anyway, I also want to read this because Christmas and, I don't know, maybe I should read something Christmassy? Whatever. Those are all of the books that I optimally would like to read in December. If I get to maybe 5 of these, I think I'm going to be lucky. Let's be realistic here. Just because life and holidays make everything very, very busy. But here we are. So anyway, this is what, the 3rd time I've ended this video? This is ridiculous. Moving on. I hope you enjoyed. If you've read any of these books, want to read any of these books with me, want to participate in the Graceling Readathon, anything else related to anything that I've said in this video, let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you all in my next video, which should be less chaotic and less thumping, because there are currently 6 children upstairs, as opposed to the usual 3. And she runs a daycare. So give it a minute. I will film again multiple times this week probably. And get my videos up again. One more thing I did want to mention quick. I'm going to start doing a different schedule, which I realized I had said back in October when I told you guys I was slowing down. November, part of the reason I didn't post really anything after my wrap-up haul stuff was because I didn't have a set schedule, and that is where I fail. So I'm setting schedule. Within the first-ish week, around the transition of each month, basically, I will post within a week my wrap-up haul and TBR for the conjoined months. On the 15th of every month, I will post my historical video, which again, I realized didn't happen in November. Procrastination, life, laziness, call it what you will. It's really all three of those. So that will be going up the 15th of this month. I have a very fun topic, I'm excited. And then any other videos will kind of be put up around those time periods. January will be a very busy month because I will be posting my best of, worst of, statistics, goals, all that kind of stuff. Because that's when I post it. I do calendar years as opposed to ending in November because that just ends very weirdly for me. Now I'm done. Again, hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below and I will see you in my next video. Bye.